Hey, it is Xzandro Gamer here with another Dragon Champions video. That's right, guys, I'm still playing the game every single day. I'm still genuinely enjoying the game every single day. It's something that's kind of fresh and new and at the same time familiar because it shares a lot of commonalities with Summoner's War, but it has a lot of really cool stuff. Now, just before we jump into it, a quick disclaimer. If you're watching this video, you're probably a Summoner's War player. That's most of my channel, obviously. Hopefully, a few Dragon Champions players have found this channel. But I am basically an early game player, the Summoners War equivalent of an early game player or early mid. I've only been playing for about a month and a half right now. So a lot of what we're going to be doing, because I plan on making a lot of content on this game, a lot of what we're going to be doing is kind of exploring my journey as we go through and learn this game, which boils down to, guys, I might just say some stupid shit. But I'm going to be giving you the strategies that I'm using as I'm learning the game, as I'm getting better at it. And if any of you are experienced Dragon Champion players, please feel free to throw something in the comments if you see something that I didn't say correctly, that I'm learning or whatever. So with that said, let's jump straight into the content. Now today we're going to be looking at the tower. Quick recap for anybody who's not familiar with it. The tower is 12 floors, it resets every day, and it's all PvP. And you basically take your own champions or your own heroes into the tower, but if one dies, you can't use it again on the next floor. If one gets injured, it goes into the next floor injured. So to that end, the strategy that I've adopted, which has worked great for me for the past week or so, is to bring in one healer and one shielder, and then bring in a couple of damage dealers. So, again, for those of you who are not familiar with the game, you can see the panda that's in my leader spot. This is Patriarchy, and his, by the way, Patriarchy, in case you didn't get it, because I literally did not get it until right now on camera, and then I tried to play it off, but I'm just going to cop up to it. It wasn't until I said his name out loud, and then I got it, Patriarchy, but okay, anyway, so here we go. So this guy, what he does is he basically puts up a massive freaking shield on one targeted ally. He also has a leader skill, which is going to give you some additional shielding whenever you heal. And actually, the healer that I'm using, Xzandro right here, so he's got two different healing skills. His skill 3 is basically a massive single target heal. It's nearly a full heal single target, also puts regeneration on that target. His skill 2 is an AoE regeneration, puts a couple of stacks of regeneration on everybody. He and Patriarchy are going to keep my team healed up. Then I've got basically my primary. He's a defender class, but he's basically my primary tank. So he's got a taunt that will force all enemies to attack him. And basically what we're doing is we're using Patriarchy to shield him, we're using Xzandro to heal him, we're using him to taunt all of the enemies so he takes the majority of the damage, other than when the enemy has an AoE. Then we've got two mages. One mage who has a really hard-hitting skill 2, single target skill 2, but it also has an ability block which can really disable the key enemy. Then the other mage that we're using, he's got two different AoE attacks and a pretty good skill 1. He also has, and then his skill 2 is also an AoE armor break. So when I put all of this together, it's basically allowing me to just kind of roll right through the tower. I'm really able to auto a significant portion of the tower. Now, one thing to note is that as you get stronger in the game, your opponents get stronger in the tower because this is PvP based, right? So there's every tower is going to have a different group of opponents, and you have to be able to handle different enemy comps. And so far, this comp that I'm running right now has really just been rocking right through everything. Now, usually what I will do is pretty much auto through the first 6 or 7 floors because the floors get progressively tougher. Somewhere around floor 7, I will double check my my hero's health. So if you see right now, this top white bar, this is my shield, and the bottom green bar is my health. So all of my heroes, all of my champions, they're at full health right now. Xzandro's shield is down a little bit, but we can restore that with Patriarchy's ability to shield. So we really have nothing to worry about quite at this point. And so what I'll do is just auto through, you know, the first half of the tower, and then after each level, I'll just start keeping an eye, and if I see that my shields are not full or my health is not full, I switch over to manual, and I direct the healing onto that particular champion that's injured, or I direct the shielding onto that particular champion, and then I can kind of jump back to auto. Right now, you can see we're still only going into floor 5, so these are still really easy fights that we can auto. There's a little bit less strategy. It's kind of a flex. Actually, it's kind of fun because you just get to like rock through everything. And then, like I said, once you get to around floor 11 or 12, that's kind of where you're going to jump onto your manual fights, and a lot of that is it's something that's probably never going to change throughout the game. I mean, I don't know this for sure. Obviously, I'm early game, but my expectation is that, you know, there's always somebody stronger, right? So the stronger you get, the stronger your opponents will get. And then there's also a hard tower mode, which I am a long way from even attempting. But when because you can only do one tower a day, by the way. You can only either do the normal or the hard. You get one tower reset a day, and the rewards from the tower are some of the biggest and most important rewards you can get. So you get a significant portion of your gold, and you get a significant portion of your ability scrolls, both of which are in very, very short demand and are very, very important. So even down to the little thing, like you might have noticed that my Xzandro here was not leveled. That's because I didn't have enough gold before I went through and did my tower and my battlegrounds. So now I can give him his last level. The levels do get progressively more expensive, and it makes it just so important that you do your tower every day. I right now get about 500,000 gold through the tower, which is enough for me to basically give 4 hero levels when the levels are available, which is pretty significant. It's more than I'm getting from really any other part of the game. Now, you can farm ability scrolls a little bit more easily than you can farm gold in this game, but the big catch here is, although they're more accessible from farming, you still have a limited number of, a limited amount of energy and a limited number of energy recharges. So unless you burn up all of your Dracoins, which is, the in-game pay currency, so you probably, unless you're, you probably don't want to burn all of those up, right? So unless you want to burn all of those up, you are still kind of hard capped by, the amount of energy that you get each day through your quests and so forth. And so once again, it just makes the tower such a central part of your overall progression. You want to get into the tower as quickly as you can. You want to go as far in the tower each day as you can. And especially if you're able to complete the tower, you get a really big reward on tower level 12, which we're actually we're gonna run through the whole tower on this video. But I'll probably skip over the next couple of levels and just kind of show you guys the closing out once we get to that point. So with all of that said, yeah, I mean, if I were to give one piece of advice to somebody new who was starting this game, it would be start the tower as soon as it's unlocked and come up with a good comp that's going to allow you to go through the tower on a daily basis. Now, the tournaments are also really important. Battlegrounds is useful. There's a lot of different game mechanics and a lot of different game modes in this game, which is why I enjoy it so much. There are challenges, there are events, a lot of different things you can do, and you'd get different prizes from all of them, but the most consistent day in, day out prizes or materials or resources that you're going to be able to farm comes from your tower resets. So you don't want to miss a day in the tower. You don't want to die out early in the tower, because if you lose a hero early, the odds are you're probably not going to make it to the end. Like if I lose a hero on stage 8, in the early days before I came up with this comp that I'm using now, in the early days what would happen to me a lot, I was running with 2 healers instead of the shielder healer combo. And a lot of times I would wind up losing a champion on like stage 8 or 9 just from like some bad luck or bad RNG, and I wasn't able to make it to the end of the tower, and I was losing out on a lot of resources. So the shielder healer combo ultimately is just been working perfectly for me. So with all of that given, we are now going to jump straight forward. And guys, I see this in other YouTube videos. People do this all the time. I know it's going to be stupid. I'm just going to throw it out here right now. I know this is going to be stupid, but I've got to do it once, right? Floor 12. Okay, that does not work when your camera only takes up a quarter of the screen. Okay, so we are on floor 11. I said we'd come back at floor 12, but I actually did have that little bit of RNG I was talking about. One of my mages got killed, so I've taken over on manual. You can see we've got a Patriarchy on the enemy side as well, and then we've got a Frost Mage. So this was a comp very similar to mine. The Frost Mage got an AoE defense break on my Nightingale, and then managed to kill her before the heals kicked in. So we've taken over on manual. First thing we're probably going to do is go ahead and refresh the shield on our Xzandro. He is the most important monster for me going into the next stage. I have other monsters. monster, right? Summoners War player. He's the most important hero for me going into the next stage. I do have other, not as good, but I have other good nukers, basically. So if I lose one of the mages, I can replace them with another nuker. It's a step down, but it works. But if I lose him, I don't have any other healer that can serve his role. So we want to make sure that he's okay. Now we're going to move on to the next stage. I'll replace the lost mage with a different nuker, but I go into the next stage with my healer and my shielder in basically fully set up, which is really important because this is going to be our most difficult fighting stage, and we're going in with a weaker attacker, so we really want to make sure that we're able to kill at least 3 of the enemies. I mean, obviously we just want to win the fight outright, but if we can kill at least 3 of the enemies, then I can bring in a much weaker team the second time around and finish them off. If I cannot kill at least 3, I'm probably not going to be able to finish them off. And so we are going to go in on manual on this stage. As I said, this is our biggest reward stage. This is the most important one for us to win. Okay, so when we look at the enemy team, we know right here, this guy in the center, Tromgar, he's the same tank that I'm using, which means he's going to taunt me as soon as he gets a turn. So for my Patriarchy, there's no point in attacking anybody else because this skill 1 is just going to do, it's just going to do damage, right? It's not going to do anything special, so we'll start working on his shield right now. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to target Kinley. We're going to go for the armor break, which we did not. We got the armor breaks on the Snorri and the shield breaker, not on the Kinley. So at this point, we still don't need to heal, and we'd love to just nuke him out before that Tromgar gets to provoke us, which I think we did. This should kill him. Now the Tromgar gets the provoke up, but we're in a 5-on-4 situation, which is really helpful. Now he's got 2 AoE damage dealers on his side. And that is one reason that I wanted to heal my Frost Mage right there. Now I do have to shield up the Tromgar. This will also cleanse that stun off of him. But the shield is most important because he's going to be the primary target on the enemy side. And we do need to keep him alive. We'll go ahead and put some regeneration up. Hopefully the Tromgar can get some regen before... Yeah, there we go. So he managed to regen almost completely before the shields broke. Now, the provoke is gone, or the taunt is gone from the enemy Tromgar. This Snorri over here is probably the biggest damage threat on the enemy side, although this Freezard is also really tough. Now, they both have cheat death. So we look up here, we see the Freezard power is 15,000, the Snorri power is 13,000. So I think we're actually, even though I find the Snorri is, he's a little bit worse for my team, but because the Freezard is stronger, we're going to go ahead and try and stun him, which we did get the stun, so that was huge. Now I have the ability to, this is what I was talking about before, I can create reflection, so we're going to create a reflection of the Snorri. Since I do find him to be kind of challenging, we're going to see if we can, we did manage to proc the cheat death and we killed the Freezard. So now at this point, we're actually in pretty good shape, even if they do manage to, like, even if that Snorri manages to get an AoE off, which I don't think he will. Because this, yeah, there we go. We're good. We're good, guys. We got this, so we beat the tower. And so that's it for the tower, guys. We made it through stage 12. I don't know, maybe we should call this, like, Chronicles of a Newbie or something, right? Because I'm really still totally learning this game. This may not be anything exciting or new or groundbreaking for experienced players, but if you're starting off on the game, just, it's really just learning the interaction of the different heroes and how they work together. So the ability to shield and heal, they work together really well. So coming from a perspective of somebody without a lot of resources, without a lot of heroes, and trying to theorycraft a team that's going to be consistently successful, this was exciting for me. Thought I would share it with you guys. So one last thing before we sign off, you will have seen we had a promo code displayed in the bottom right hand corner this entire video. It'll be displayed in every video for Dragon Champions. For those of you who have seen the videos before, you know, but if you haven't, I am partnered with them. I chose to partner with them because I really enjoy the game. So actually I did one sponsored video, and then I just started playing the game every day for like more than a month, and I went back to them and I said, you guys, you know what, I enjoy this game so much that I would really like us to partner. So we do have a promo code, guys. If you want to try the game out and if you want to get some free stuff, all you've got to do is come up here to this settings cog right here. You click use promo code and you type in XG gift. Xennial Gamer gift, right? You're going to get some gold, you're going to get some additional in-game resources, you're going to get a pretty decent mage hero to start out. So it's a really nice kind of starter gift. And then obviously, if you're a subscriber of the channel, you guys are helping me out just by showing the game some support, by giving it a chance and playing it. And hopefully, most importantly, you guys will enjoy the game and we can play it together, because I still really like it. So on that note, guys, as always, I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Hey guys, if you're still with me to this point, then that means that you probably liked the video, found it entertaining, or even better, both. So please smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below, because those things help the channel grow, and more importantly, they show me that the video is useful, and that's the whole reason I do this in the first place.